The Scum Villain's Self-Saving System, Chapter 21, Audio Source, wuxia-world-audiobook.com. Chapter 21. TN, unedited. Pretty long chapter to translate, from my standpoint, but there are some lol moments that made me have to stop translating and breathe. Xiāng Tóngxiù was silent for a long time before throwing the metal plate to Ming Fan's chest, letting him take it. Ming Fan secretly peeked at Shizun's expression and found that it wasn't very good. He thought of that stinky brat Luo Bing'er. After he went down the mountain, Shizun was picky about the food from the kitchens in every possible way. He hadn't eaten well these days, so Ming Fan asked Shizun, should this disciple prepare some snacks? Every day, Luo Bing'er was taught seriously by the dream demon in his dreams and progressed amazingly quickly. He could have taken responsibility long ago. Xiāng Tóngxiù often handed over some of Kangqiong Mountain Sect's trivial internal affairs for him to carry out. After he grew up a little more and went down the mountain to exterminate demons, the Peak Lord's support tasks were also thrown to him. It was to prevent him from loitering about at Xiāng Tóngxiù's side every day. Though he was serviced very comfortably every day, he didn't know if this child had grown crooked or what, sticking to him a little too strongly. Xiāng Tóngxiù would sometimes reflect on this, whether it was because he had doted on him a little too much. If this continued, when the time came, he would have no way to be ruthless and strike him down into the endless abyss. Xiāng Tóngxiù truly didn't have an appetite. He raised his hand. No need. You can go down. Ming Fan didn't dare say more and honestly left. In his heart, his face was full of tears. This brat Luo Bing'er, in these years he had already become a dearly loved person in Shizun's heart. Other people had no way of letting Shizun drink even a mouthful of congee. Of course, he hadn't considered the possibility that it was a problem regarding the cook. After an indeterminable amount of time passed, there was the sound of footsteps approaching again. Xiāng Tóngxiù said, "Didn't I say it's not need?" A young man's voice carrying a hint of grievance said. This disciple came running back from over thousands of li away. "Shizun, are you going to refuse me without even seeing me once?" This voice was elegant and clear without losing any of a youth's vitality. Hearing it, Xiāng Tóngxiù almost overturned and tumbled onto the ground with his chair. He quickly turned back. A 17-year-old teenager stood like pure jade, dressed in white robes. A hint of a smile lurked at the corners of his lips, his eyes sparkling at him. Across his back, he carried a precious sword he received from one Jian Peak called Zheng Yang 1. The immortal sword was manifested from Luo Bing'er's qi and its body was filled with spiritual energy. This was a good top-grade sword pulled out by Luo Bing'er from the rock wall and attracted his fellow disciples' exclamations and praise. But compared to the sword that truly belonged to Luo Bing'er, it wasn't in the same league at all. Xiāng Tóngxiù settled himself, then smiled and said, "How come you've come back so fast this time?" Luo Bing'er sat beside him and steadily poured a cup of tea, then pushed it next to Xiāng Tóngxiù's hand. It wasn't some troublesome calamity. Also, missing Shizun urgently, I rode the horse back without stopping. These words sounded very smooth. However, as the male protagonist, Luo Bing'er must have some ability to make such smooth words come out with sincerity and skill. Regarding this, Xiāng Tóngxiù found it very useful. Xiāng Tóngxiù took up the cup of tea and drank a mouthful. He hadn't fully tasted the excellent snowy mountain tea, too, when he said, "The Immortal Alliance Conference is about to begin." Luo Bing'er already knew about this. He asked, "Do you need this disciple to pass to you a copy of the list of participating disciples from King Jing Peak for Shizun to see?" These years, these things whether big or small, were all thrown by Shen Qingqiu to Luo Bing'er to handle. Anyway, Luo Bing'er right now was very cute, obedient and useful, carrying out tasks accurately and precisely. Shen Qingqiu really couldn't think of a reason why he must do them himself. Before making the final decision, Luo Bing'er always conscientiously asked Shen Qingqiu to look over them again and see if there was anything wrong. Shen Qingqiu always wanted to say, "Actually, you don't need to give it to me to check anymore. Truly, your ability to work is stronger than mine by a lot." Shen Qingqiu said, "It would be better to report straight to the sect head from now on." Luo Bing'er nodded his head. He still wanted to say something, but it suddenly gave birth to a kind of strange feeling. Today's Shen Qingqiu seemed to pay special attention to him. He couldn't help smiling. "Shizun, why do you keep looking at me? Unless Shizun also misses this disciple after having gone down the mountain so many days." Shen Qingqiu coolly said, "Can't I look at what I raised?" Luo Bing'er laughingly said, "Naturally you're allowed to. Does Shizun find me pleasing to the eyes?" Shen Qingqiu laughed. After a moment of silence, he sought for words, then asked, "Bing'er." Luo Bing'er found that Shen Qingqiu was different from usual. He must have important words to say, so he said seriously, "Yes?" Shen Qingqiu stared at him with both eyes and said, "Do you want to become strong? Strong enough to be peerless, to the point that no one under the heavens dares to fight you?" Luo Bing'er had an answer to this question since a long time ago. He solemnly sat and without hesitation, directly replied, "Yes." Seeing him answer so decisively, Shen Qingqiu's heart let out a breath. With urgency in every word, he continued, "For example, if before that, you have to undergo a lot of painful torture, suffer countless hardships, your physical and mental state approaching collapse, would you still want to be a supremely strong person?" Luo Bing'er slowly said, "Towards painful bitterness and hardships, Bing'er is fearless and only asks to be strong enough to protect his important people." Having received this answer, Shen Qingqiu's heart was finally able to stabilize. "Right, Luo Bing'er, for the sake of your future of becoming a person holding a harem of 3,000 jade-like flowers, you must become strong." Although his heart still couldn't bear it. Thinking of how this was necessary for the protagonist to experience, just like the process of a butterfly emerging from a cocoon, Shen Qingqiu prepared to readjust his mind and heart for the upcoming inhumane action. After 3 days, according to the list, the disciples of Kangqiong Mountain's 12 peaks went to the conference. This time, the Immortal Alliance conference was held in complex terrain rising into a thickly forested mountain range. It was called Judai Gorge. 3. Those who had already made a name for themselves definitely wouldn't go and participate in the Immortal Alliance conference again to compete with their juniors. There was no need to fight for scraps. Therefore, the 12 peak lords and martial seniors wouldn't participate, but every herd could choose at most 10 disciples to participate. Since there were so many who had become immortals, the more the better. Hence, once everyone was equipped and ready to set out, there were 100 people who'd already come. So many flying swords would be too high profile, so they still set out with carriages. It was a cultivation novel, yet they were riding in horse carriages all the time. A great number of people chose to ride horses and looked valiant. But since Shen Qingqiu wasn't good at riding and didn't want to fall and break his neck, and secondly because he thought exposing his face to the wind and rain of the mountains wasn't leisurely enough, he drilled his way into the horse carriage with everybody watching. Finding a seat inside the carriage was first come, first served. Once a fan was seen lifting up the door curtain and a person going in, someone said rudely, "A great big man like you, and you're coming in to steal my spot." This woman with the beautiful eyebrows and a full and high chest was indeed the peak lord of Jianshu Peak, Xiāng 4. In the original work, Xiāng and Xiāng didn't have much friendly relations or deal with each other much. But these years, Xiāng would occasionally work with her and liked her frank, outspoken forcefulness. They got along pretty well. Xiāng used his paper fan to make a spot for her while he spoke with perfect composure. "I am a sick patient." Xiāng made some room for him, but her mouth still didn't let him off. "You've been pampered and spoiled. The strength of a spoiled baby like you. How is it like a core formation immortal cultivator? If you wait a while, is someone going to come along and serve you refreshments?" Xiāng said. "Not wrong. You reminded me." The handle of the fan knocked on an arm of the horse carriage. Soon after, the carriage's curtain was raised. Luo Bing'er smiled and asked, "Shizun, refreshments, water, or is your waist sore?" He was riding on a strong and tall horse. Just as spirited as the heavenly white horse, the teenager was handsome and extraordinary. Under the bright rays of the sun, he shone in people's eyes. Xiāng said, "Your martial aunt Qi would like to eat refreshments." Luo Bing'er quickly took from his waist a package of delicately wrapped and exquisite refreshments, offering it. It seemed like he'd been long since prepared. WuxaWorldAudio.com. He said, "Shizun, if there's anything else, please call for me." Only then did he let down the curtain. Lu Qing applied a riding crop as he rode his horse past, grunting out a strong HMPH once. Xiāng said, "Naturally." Quote, he lowered his head and opened the package. Longzhu 5. "Not bad." Quote, he turned around and passed the refreshments to Xiāng. "Want to eat?" Xiāng had a hard time describing what she felt at this moment. She felt that this feeling was probably indignation. How come such a good disciple who was both intimate and strong in spiritual power came from Xiāng's tutelage? In fact, she just didn't know that there was a phrase to describe that kind of feeling. It was called a flash of blind dog eyes. Xiāng didn't look at or eat the longzhu from Xiāng. She was still struggling to the death. Even Mingyan is riding a horse. As long as she could make Xiāng feel even a bit of shame, it was victory. Xiāng didn't say anything and looked out. Sure enough, Lu Mingyan with her veiled face and carrying her Shui She sword 6 was sitting on a horse. With every breeze, her veil fluttered slightly and gave off the feeling of a floating immortal state. This picture was too pleasing to the eyes and mind. Xiāng couldn't help taking another look for a moment, then sighed. Truly too beautiful to take in at once. Xiāng expressed a pay at his face. "Rest your desires to covet my disciple." These two sentences traveled into Luo Bing'er's ears. His face turned dark at once. But Xiāng completely didn't notice his expression at all. He just ate pastries while looking towards that side. His attitude was that of the sort of person who, before the start of the movie, ate popcorn and drank Coke while waiting for the credits to end and the movie to officially start. 7. That was Lu Mingyan. The male protagonist and the female protagonist were in the same setting. How would it be possible that they wouldn't rub off some sparks with each other? Seeing Shizun continuing to focus on Lu Mingyan without stopping, Luo Bing'er's heart felt extremely stuffy. Too beautiful to take in at once. Her face isn't even clearly revealed. No matter how beautiful, surely she can't be as good looking as me. Luo Bing'er truly wasn't narcissistic. He was only very clear about his own looks. He was neither complacent nor hypocritically belittling himself. Half a day had gone by and Xiāng still hadn't shown any intention of retracting his gaze. Luo Bing'er truly couldn't take it anymore. He lightly cracked his whip and the white horse quickly trotted forward to walk alongside Lu Mingyan. Luo Bing'er smiled slightly and greeted martial sister Lu. Lu Mingyan was surprised for a moment, then nodded shallowly. She replied, "Martial brother Luo." Oh. It started. Shen Qingchu really didn't think there would be a day that he would see with his own eyes this scene from the novel of the handsome man and beauty riding alongside each other. He was secretly excited. Luo Bing'er's gaze swept over and he saw that Shen Qingchu not only hadn't shifted his gaze, but was even more actively fixing his gaze this way. With a face full of black lines, his heart increasingly stuffy and his teeth itching to grit together, he brightly laughed with Lu Mingyan while secretly making their horses walk increasingly faster without anyone knowing better. In the end, they were far away enough that Shen Qingchu couldn't see them unless his entire upper body stuck out of the carriage. Only then did Shen Qingchu let go and sit back. Damn, how did he forget the moments when the male and female protagonist were billing and cooing at each other? Their love was never in the fashion of a light bulb shedding light among the masses. End chapter 21. 1. Zheng Yang, sword, Zheng meaning upright, righteous, and Yang is the same character used in yin-yang. Yang generally means positive, masculine energy or refers to the sun. Fits this sunshine cutie pie Luo Bing'er pretty well, huh? 2. Snowy mountain tea. I assume this is a type of tea. Not one I've heard of though. Phrase used with as. 3. Judai Gorge. Meaning of the name is despairing, hopeless land gorge. Ominous, huh? Can't believe MTL translated this as Jedo Valley. Lol. 4. Qi Ching Chi. Her name means something like clear luxury. 5. Long Zhu Su, literally, dragon whisker pastry. It's a light, sweet pastry that's little like cotton candy but tons healthier. Sometimes you can wrap some crumbly nuts inside. Here's an image. 6. Shui Shei, sword, literally, watercolor, sword. 7. Movie to officially start, in everywhere in the world except the US. Movie credits roll first before the film actually begins. 8. Face full of black lines. You've seen it in manga, manhwa. It looks like this. End chapter.